Enjoy your meeting. Just a reminder, today's meeting is being recorded.
Hello and welcome to today's Wednesday Wisdom Call. This is Andrea Lehman. I am part of the leadership team with Living Well Now. And I'm on the call today with Carissa Abril. Is that how I say it, Carissa? Is it Abril or Abril?
Nope, Abril, you said it right.
Abril, okay. Carissa has been with Young Living for less than a year. I don't know exactly how long, so she'll let us know some specifics on that. But she and her team have grown really fast. And so it's really fun when we have a new builder, just to see the excitement that happens in that building. And I know that I'm never going to stop learning in this business, so I can't wait to just hear some of the things that you have done and explored to help your business grow fast. So, Carissa, just to start off, would you tell us just a little bit about your journey, like how you got into the oils? Were you planning on growing business right from the beginning? Just give us a little bit of background.
I got started with Young Living about a little over 8 months ago, and Katie Strong actually was at my house with a women's ministry group, and just a little before she joined the ministry group, I got diagnosed with gastroparesis, and so I was really sick at the time, and so she's really cute. She said, I don't know if these can help you, but I would like you to try these. And at that point, the options that the doctor were offering and the medications that they were offering were not of interest of me. So I said, absolutely, I would love to try something like this and go a natural approach to my health. And so she gave me samples of oils, and the next morning I was on the phone telling her I needed to know more information because the symptoms that I had were completely gone with the use of the essential oils that she had given me. And so I had gone down many paths before this, and so it was just it was great to see the results I had received so immediately. So she came over to my house, and my husband was like very skeptical at first, and was like, I don't really know what Katie's trying to get into or get going with you. He said, but I do know that I've seen them work, even just this one time. So at this point, we were both willing to try anything. So that started my journey, and then she followed up with me the following week. And at that point, she said, are you interested in the business? And I said, absolutely not. I'm a nurse. I'm a mom. You're a fireman. We have too much going on inside our home that I have no time to start up a business. And she goes, well, you're interested in getting your products paid for. And I said, yes. Always interested in getting things paid for in our house. So that was what started my journey with Young Living.
Very cool. So Katie's a smart woman because that's one of the things that she totally is. I remember, for those of you on the call who are familiar with Marcella Von Harding, she's a Royal Crown Diamond with Young Living. She said a long time ago, before I was really pursuing the business, she said in a meeting that I went to, help people pay for their product. That's your goal, help people pay for their product. So it sounds like that's what happened with you.
Yeah,
you were not on board with the business. You were okay with paying for products. So then what happened?
And through that, I actually use that a lot for people that I share the business with as well. So at that point, she asked me if I would be willing to host a class. She knew that because of my illness that people were constantly asking me how I was feeling and what was going on. And based on the results I had already seen, she said, if people start showing interest, would you be interested in hosting a class? And I said, yeah, I would love to share this with anyone. And so I had my first class.
And so how long after you got your oils was that?
I got my oils at the very end of November, and I had my first class December. I think it was like the second week or third week of December.
Okay, so just a couple weeks later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Very cool. And so what happened at that first class?
So,
you were small.
At my first class,
*6. If you are on the call, go ahead and push *6, and that will mute you so that we can hear Carissa. Thank you. Go ahead, Carissa.
At my first class, I went ahead and invited anyone that I thought might have had interest in essential oils. And so I think at my first class I had 6 people come. And of course, everyone, based on the presentation and just the purity of these essential oils, got on board at that time. And really, really that's what kind of opened it up to the possibilities of getting my products paid for, because obviously at that point, having those people signed up, it brought a nice chunk of change from that very first class just to be able to pay for products going forward.
Okay. So at that point, were you were still just, I just want my product paid for. I'm too busy on the nurse.
Yes.
I don't want anything to do with the business end of it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
what happened?
At that point, I received my check, obviously, and I was like, oh, that was kind of easy. I didn't really have to do anything. Just invite some people over and have some snacks out and got my products paid for. But out of that group, 2 people were saying, well, hey, I want my products paid for. So that just started the journey and the ball rolling as far as the possibilities of it becoming bigger and than just getting your products paid for. So I think Katie, I apologize to her probably like 100 times because I had a bazillion questions, and so I was calling her, texting her, and she was, of course, awesome and supported me very well and just said, well, would you like me to show you the business? And so then at that point we met together again, and she kind of went over the business aspect and the possibilities of what it really could be.
Awesome. So you got your oils in November. You had your first class in December. You hit executive what month?
I hit executive in February.
In February. And then you hit silver last month in July. Correct? Okay. Awesome. So what would you say, aside from asking the question, would it be okay if I helped you pay for your product, what would you say is 1 or 2 other little key things that have helped you to be successful in the last 8 months?
So I will tell you that when you first get into hearing about the business, it obviously can be very overwhelming just from the aspects of, all of the ways to earn income. And so I kind of just started setting little goals, and saying, okay, so obviously the first rank is silver, which I think I hit right after that class. And so the next rank is, senior, or star. Did I say silver?
You said silver.
Sorry, and then the next rank is, okay, senior star. So just setting those little goals. But more than the business side of it, my passion really was with the product. And I was just amazed within that first month with myself getting the results that I was getting. I also introduced them to my daughter at the same time with her symptoms and my husband. And so immediately as a whole family, we saw
One second, Carissa. Carissa, 1 second. If you're on the call right now and you have not muted yourself, go ahead and push *6 on your phone. If you push *6, that will go ahead and mute you. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. So your passion was with the product. You had I didn't hear what you said to your daughter.
Yeah, so as a whole in our family, we saw the benefits that we each had received from them. So everyone has issues and different things in their health, and being that that's my background in healthcare, that's my passion anyways, is to reach out to people that are really struggling with health concerns. And so when people are coming to me asking how I'm doing, and, I can relate to them and show them, a natural way, I think the Western side of medicine is sometimes especially if you are taught in it in a medical field, it's hard to kind of get away from that. And so it really opened my eyes to the possibilities that you really could get from just, using something natural versus different medications and stuff. So
yes,
I will tell you. Go ahead. I will tell you in the beginning too, kind of a struggle I had with the business in the beginning was, I think when, you present the business to somebody and you show them the possibilities of the income disclosure and you're talking about, those figures that are possibilities for them, you go through that part of unbelief. Well, that's really nice for those people who can get to, gold and platinum and those different ranks. But you don't see that for yourself. And that took a lot for me just through prayer to say, you know what, this product's amazing, and I don't feel like I'm ever out there selling product. I feel like I'm sharing with people the opportunities of, doing this as a health and wellness for themselves. And so just, through prayer, just saying, hey, if this is something that God wants for our family, it's gonna come through. And it does, there's no difference between somebody who's, just starting the business and somebody who's, a platinum, as long as you believe in it and you're passionate in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I heard you say setting little goals along the way and just the focus on the product that you're wanting to help other people, and that we have a good product. So just that fact alone helps you to be successful, and seeing it as sharing, not as selling.
Yeah, and I will tell you, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I will tell you as an organization with Living Well Now that being a part of this organization has really, you hear different things each time you go to a class or, you participate in any of the events that are going on. And, you hear over and over again of be a product of the product and have outrageous customer service. And I will say to you that is really key in this business. When my husband and I got into essential oils, we were using chemicals in our house. We were using, the Pine Sol, the Lysol, the soaps in your bathroom, your laundry detergent, all those aspects. And so, I said, if we're going to do this, then we just need to do it all the way. And it's overwhelming in the beginning, and to think about eliminating all the things in your house that you've been doing for, 30-plus years. And so we decided, my husband was actually frightening. He just went in and threw everything in the garbage. And I was like, wait, well, how are we going to clean the house, And he's like, if you're doing it, then you're going to do it right. And so, quickly, obviously learning that it wasn't so scary because we have amazing products. And so you definitely have to be a product of the product. You can't invite people to your house and say, chemical-free, I don't want to, have chemicals in my house, and promote these products and then have, Dial dish soap or, Lysol and Pine Sol, your house smelling like those chemicals. It just doesn't work. People don't believe you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always joke that the oils were my gateway drug into natural living because I just had no clue beforehand,
right.
all the toxins that were around us. I love that your husband threw everything away. That was great. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit here. What would you say have been some struggles along the way? Yeah, just a struggle in the business that you have encountered along the way.
So balancing and prioritizing and letting people know that this is my business. Those are the three things that I struggled with.
So talk for a moment about balancing.
Well, like I said, I am a nurse, and I have children, and obviously I have a husband, and so just balancing the time that it takes to do classes and do follow-ups and, educate yourself and educate others around you. So I really had to sit down with my husband and just say, okay, I'm 100% on board with this business. I can see the possibilities of our future in this business. What do you want? What are some things that you want from me that you help balance our home life so it doesn't take over? And so he said, I don't want you to do anything on Saturday nights and Sundays. I was like, okay, deal.
Lovely. And that is so key, Carissa, and I hope that everybody on the call is hearing that, the importance of, one, keeping your priorities straight. This business is not the most important thing in our lives, absolutely not the most important things. And so keeping God and family ahead of our work And so that means, like, for me, you know, I'm you know, fairly far along in this business and have been at it for 3 years, but we have decided as a family that I'm not spending more than 25 hours a week on it, because we want that balance of life. And so I worked hard in the first year because I still had my other job,
Right.
and so I had to work more hours. But at this point, I could work 60 hours a week, easy. There's plenty of work to spend 60 hours a week on. But we decided it's not worth it. It's not worth it to do that. And so I love that you guys sat down and had that conversation and decided these are the boundaries. This is what, as a family, we're willing to do, knowing where this is going, and this is what we're not willing to do. So I love that.
Yes.
It's so healthy. What was the other thing that you said was a struggle?
I think prioritizing is a key too. I mean, you can definitely get lost in it, as you were saying, spend 60 hours a week easily in this business. I mean, there's just so much that you could do, from education to reaching out to people to teaching classes to, you know, supporting your team. So prioritizing, I think, is really key, and not being overwhelmed in the have-tos, but kind of in the immediate kind of, okay, so I have a rule or kind of a guideline that I like to go by, so that if somebody, you know, buys a kit, I like to do a follow-up with them within 1 week of them getting their kit. And the reason why is because when I have things on a list that I need to do, and I write people's names down who I personally have to follow up with, and it's on a list, it's eating away at me thinking, okay, that's something I have to do. So I really try to schedule that follow-up right away with them so I can get that done. They have their information, and I feel relief that I provided outrageous customer service to them.
Beautiful. And follow-up is so key. And doing that right away, you know, while they're still excited, while there's still that freshness and newness. Beautiful.
Yes.
Awesome. And then you said there was one other thing that you said was a challenge.
Yes, the third thing is letting people know that this is your business. So I struggled with this in the beginning because I've never done any marketing or selling. Like I said, I was a nurse, or am a nurse, and so when it came to sharing the product, a lot of times, you know, you get that question, oh, well, do you sell oils? And it's kind of like, you know, just that phrase was like, no, I don't sell oils. And so what I found is if people trust you and they see the results that you personally have, they want to support you as well. And so by saying, yes, this is my business, and that's my passion, is to share these with people so that they can receive the benefits that I have in my home, not only will they be more willing and receptive to either spend more time with you or ask you the questions, but, you know, if somebody else is interested in, you know, essential oils, or the conversation comes up later down, you know, a couple of weeks from then, they can say, well, I have a friend that actually does that as a business, and then point them to you. And I didn't do that in the beginning, and I'm really working on doing that and letting people know that, yes, this is my business, and this is, you know, something that is a personal goal for me and my family. So.
Awesome. And I think that's just personal development. I remember feeling exactly the same way in the beginning, where I did, you know, I was almost like shy about it. I didn't, and I don't know what that's about, but good, because there's probably some people on the call that are still at that point where they're feeling that way. So that was probably very helpful for them just to hear that, take ownership of it, and be proud of it, because we really do have truly something so amazing to share with people. And I'm at the point where I have strong conviction that everybody needs these oils. They have been so beneficial for so many people in their life that everybody needs to experience them. So can go forward with that passion. Okay, a couple last questions. We have about 6 or 7 minutes left. What, if you could give just 1 or 2 tips, and you may have already touched on them and you can just recap, or if there's something else, 1 or 2 tips for new builders on their journeys, what would you give? What tips would you give to them?
Okay, I have a couple tips. One is you have to live the life of health and wellness for yourself, and you have to be a product of the product, because if somebody sees that you're, you know, not being health and wellness in your own life and in your own home, whether trying to live a chemical-free home or trying to, you know, not using, you know, products that you know aren't good for you, whether that be, you know, over-the-counter, you know, pain relief, or doing that and really, truly coming to the oils above and beyond anything else. I think that is key. People look at you, and if you're going to be in this business, then you need to know that people are going to look at you, and they're going to watch what you're doing in your homes and with your family and when you go out. And so it's important to have a life of health and wellness, and more so for yourself too. I mean, you have these amazing products at, your resource, and so just being able to take advantage of them. I will say that this is something that's, everything that I've said has been something that's been passed on to me from upline, whether that's Andrea or Andy or Deb or Katie or somebody that has shared with me, that you really will benefit from this business if you take your checks, that what you receive, even from the very beginning, and you invest them back into your business until you get to the point where you don't need to invest in obviously that much, as far as your business goes. But I have taken every single check that I have received from Young Living and put it back into the business, whether that be for product or books or tools or bottles, spray bottles or stuff that Nathan takes, whatever you're using it for. It becomes not a burden on your family, and it really allows you the freedom to look at a product that maybe you would have not looked at before.
Yes.
So I think that is very key.
That's so key. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Keep going.
I think be authentic to yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't put limitations on yourself. Like I said in the beginning, I thought the realistics of really climbing in this business was something that really wasn't possible for me. And I just think I always tell myself, this is my little saying, that God created the entire universe and made humans out of dirt. He definitely can make you succeed in this business as long as you have passion and you believe in yourself. And I think that's important.
I love that.
Yes, it's going to classes, I think, is a big thing too. I have heard a lot of people that maybe either in their downline or in their cross line, that classes will come up and events will come up, and they'll say, well, I don't really care to go to that class or that information. I think it's key. It's key to support your organization, but I think it's key because you're going to learn something at each class that you might not have had the knowledge of, or that you might get somebody to ask you a question about, and then you have those resources available to you because you went to that class.
Yes. Awesome. So just being plugged into stuff. Great.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and I'm going to put you on the spot because we didn't talk about this question, and it's okay if you say I don't really have, I don't know. Do you have any tips with helping people get onto Essential Rewards?
So I am key on doing whatever it is that you can do to get your products paid for. I was a coupon clipper, and I love shopping at thrift stores and yard sales, and I'm big on saving money. So I've definitely watched a lot of videos. I think people get scared on the auto ship programs because there's so many out there that people get locked into. So what I encourage people to do is when I do my follow-ups with them and they place their order is to go ahead and sign up on Essential Rewards. And if the following month they find that they're not interested in ordering product, then by all means they can use that grace month, and then by the third month or second month if they decided that they don't want to be ordering products again at that point, then we can go ahead and cancel it with no restrictions, no limitations, and they can utilize the points that they at least accumulated. And I will tell you, probably 9 times out of 10, people don't cancel. I have had one lady that canceled, and it was easy. And, we called in and canceled her Essential Rewards, and, she was able to use her points before she canceled, and, she's fine. And she likes to put orders in every 2-3 months for $200 instead of individually breaking them up, which you smack yourself saying she's losing out on points if she just throws that up, her $200 order into $50 orders. But people are scared of auto ships. It's because of something else making a bad name for them. So just showing them that it can be canceled, so it's not something they have to decide to be committed in, I think is big and key. But I have people that aren't on Essential Rewards too, and it's, and I think initially once they put a big order in and they haven't been on ER, I notice that in the organization, and I call them and I say, I noticed you put an order in, of $200 or $300. I know we've went over Essential Rewards before in the past. did you want more information about that? You would have received 30 points at that time, or, just whatever the point value would have been. And then a lot of times they're like, oh, I completely forgot about that. They're overwhelmed with information in the beginning. And so sometimes when you approach it to them, they're saying, absolutely not. I've already committed to, the kit. I don't want to do it. And then they purchase the big order, and unfortunately they can't get the points back on that order if you catch them too late. But it just, next time they go to order, they're going to remember that you said that, or they decide at that point when you call in. So not giving up on the essential orders, I think, is key too. So then that way, just because they say no one time doesn't mean that it's always going to be a no.
Yes. So they say the fortune's in the follow-up, and that's a key example of that, is that you're right. I think sometimes people are just so overwhelmed. They don't even want to think about one more thing, or they don't understand it the first time around because their heads are so full with everything else. So definitely following up when you see that. Awesome. Thank you. That was great. Okay, and so last question. As you continue this journey, just having hit silver last month, which is a really exciting time for all of you that are listening in that maybe have not hit silver yet. Silver is an exciting time because your check doubles, pretty much doubles when you go from executive to silver. And so this is where I say this is the point where you don't need to invest everything back into your business now. Now you can start taking money and deciding, okay, where are we going to put this, in our family budget, or where, what are we going to start paying down, or whatever it is that you decide that you're doing with the income that you're generating with this business. Silver is an exciting time. Things start to go faster. So anyway, all that to say, you just hit silver last month. What are you looking forward to with this business? What are you most excited about?
I am most excited about supporting my team underneath me. I think in the beginning when you're first learning the business, it's obviously overwhelming for you, let alone your business builders underneath you. And so really setting that time apart for them right now, and just, what can we do as an organization or for each other to really help build them up in their dreams, and letting them know that they can do it. If you can hit silver, they can hit silver. And so, just making those goals and trying to be better about, creating events. I think events are key to go to, but I also, something I've done within the last 2 months is creating events in my home. And having events in my home has never been a big deal for me. I love to entertain. But I've noticed that when there's not things on my calendar, then my OGV, organizational volume, is not where it could be. And so people have busy lives and things come up. So I would encourage everyone to, I think at one point I heard someone say, do 3 events in your home a month. And at first I was like, wow, that's kind of a lot. But it doesn't have to be classes or make and takes or big events. It could just be meeting with somebody, one-on-one or two-on-one, and just, communicating with them. And it might just be a follow-up, too, that you get a couple girls together that signed up as friends and do a follow-up with each one of them. So I've tried to be intentional about doing 3 events in my house for the last 2 months. I think it's obviously helped out with my organization by doing that. And one other thing is it's never too late for a follow-up. I know there's people that had signed up early on that I didn't really know and understand the importance of a follow-up, even though it's taught to you, and not being afraid to go back to those people that signed up 2-3 months ago and reaching out for them and following up with them. Awesome. Awesome.
Carissa, thank you so much for being on the call. We really appreciate your time. And I know that those listening in got a lot of valuable tips from you. So I just really appreciate your willingness to share with us.
Yeah,
thank you. Everybody have a great day. And go ahead and give Carissa some love on the event page, what you appreciated, what you liked about what you heard today. Thanks, Carissa. Have a good day.
Thank you, too.